Travis Kelce's journey from NFL star to pop culture icon began with a well-executed plan.
Kelce's managers, Aaron and Andre Eanes, signed him during their college years, recognizing his crossover potential.
In 2022, Kelce achieved remarkable success, winning the Super Bowl, hosting Saturday Night Live, starring in commercials, and launching a clothing line.
Kelce's relationship with pop singer Taylor Swift introduced him to a broader audience.
The Eanes brothers managed Kelce's career meticulously, coordinating various aspects of his growing brand.
Kelce's management team includes a creative strategist, community outreach coordinator, publicist, chef, and trainer.
He also has 4 football agents and joined Creative Artists Agency to explore acting opportunities.
The Eanes brothers handled it all, guiding Kelce's journey to pop culture stardom with a well-thought-out plan.
Despite the unexpected twists, the plan did not involve Taylor Swift.
Kelce's managers have a strategic window to build his brand between the Super Bowl and training camp.
Andre Eanes manages Kelce's investments, connecting with him through a mutual friend in college.
Aaron Eanes pitched the idea of a manager to college football players, aiming to build a business outside traditional sports agent roles.
Kelce's first taste of mainstream publicity came in a complex magazine feature in 2015.
A reality dating show, Catching Kelce, and Kelce's desire to be on SNL were part of the journey.
Kelce's dream of being on SNL came true after a chance encounter with Lorne Michaels.
Kelce's management team began interviewing Hollywood agencies to expand his entertainment industry connections.
They focused on building Kelce's brand through unique endorsement deals outside traditional NFL partnerships.
Kelce's management team draws inspiration from music artists like Harry Connick Jr. for marketing strategies.
Despite his rising celebrity status, Kelce remains dedicated to football and his training. The team is now cautious about oversaturation and aims for authenticity over quantity in future deals.
As the article concludes, Kelce's career has been strategically positioned for world fame.
In the only recent year in which Travis Kelce and the Kansas City Chiefs weren't playing in the Super Bowl, the NFL star was driving around Los Angeles in early February with his business managers, Andre and Aaron Eanes, marveling at billboards featuring Dwayne Johnson, the actor and entertainer better known as The Rock. "Man, I don't think I'll ever be as famous as The Rock," Mr. Kelce said.
His co-managers looked at each other. "We're like, yes, you can," Andre Eanes said.
The twin brothers had known since Mr. Kelce was at the University of Cincinnati that the 6'5" athletic star with the Marvel character physique, blue eyes, and affable charm had crossover potential.
This was a year even The Rock might envy. Mr. Kelce, a tight end, won the Super Bowl, his second, in February. In March, he hosted Saturday Night Live. He starred in 7 national television commercials. The podcast he co-hosts with his brother Jason is among the most popular on Spotify. He launched a clothing line with his team.
And he's dating the world's most famous pop singer. Perhaps you've heard.
Mr. Kelce's sudden conquering of the zeitgeist, being put on the map, if you will, has taken even die-hard football fans by surprise. The reality is that most of his ascent has been years in the making, the result of a carefully manicured business plan developed by the 34-year-old Eanes brothers that blossomed at precisely the right moment.
The Chiefs have spent the last few years as the most unstoppable force in football, and along the way, Mr. Kelce's other team has grown to include a creative strategist, a community outreach coordinator, a Los Angeles-based publicist, a personal chef, and a trainer. He has 4 football agents, led by Mike Simon at VMG. In the spring, he also became a client of Creative Artists Agency to feed his budding acting itch.
The Eanes brothers coordinate it all, managing the surging flow of incoming traffic for a piece of Kelce Inc. film scripts have been shared among the team. Game shows are a consideration, maybe a few less commercials. Andre Eanes, who manages Mr. Kelce's portfolio of 28 investments, first met his client through Mr. Kelce's college roommate, DJ Woods, a childhood friend of Mr. Eanes, who grew up near Cleveland. They became close when Mr. Eanes started an event management business while still in college that booked venues and hosted DJs around Cincinnati.
At the same time, Aaron Eanes was studying sport management and entrepreneurship at Bowling Green State University in Northern Ohio. He wanted to help athletes grow their careers, but he had no interest in becoming a traditional sports agent.
Agents are contract advisors, Mr. Eanes said. I thought instead about a music model and building a business where there's coordination with all their external providers.
Mr. Eanes hadn't even graduated when he began pitching college football players about the services of a manager in addition to a traditional agent. It was an unusual proposition at the time for most players, whose focus primarily was on getting that first professional contract. But Mr. Kelce seemed to grasp the bigger picture that his friends were charting. He became the second client of A&A Management, the company that the Eanes brothers still run.
It was unusual, said Mr. Simon, Mr. Kelce's agent. I think his thought process at the time was, let's all do this together and we'll figure it out as we go.
Mr. Kelce's first glint of mainstream publicity came in a 2015 feature in Complex magazine, in which he stood on a pool table wearing a burgundy velour Versace jumpsuit and Gucci sunglasses.
The brothers eventually relented, thinking that a TV show might open other doors. After Catching Kelce, which ran for 8 episodes and never did find Mr. Kelce's true love, they agreed that reality television was one and done. Instead, Mr. Kelce, a lifelong comedy fan, gave his co-managers a lofty goal to chase. He wanted to be on SNL.
Aaron Eanes reached out to the show's producers during the 2020 season, but their reciprocated interest sounded lukewarm at best. That changed in October 2021 after Mr. Kelce dropped into an SNL after party before a game in Philadelphia and went to work, chatting up and impressing Lorne Michaels.
The day after the Chiefs defeated the Eagles in the Super Bowl last February, Aaron Eanes' phone rang at 9 a.m. It was SNL.
After walking out onto the stage at Rockefeller Center Studio 8H on March 4th, less than a month after the Super Bowl win, Mr. Kelce choked up during the show's opening monologue. He had fulfilled a childhood dream and he had brought his family along for the ride, his brother Jason, the Eagles center, and his parents Ed and Donna, who the Eanes brothers helped manage free of charge.
After SNL, the Eanes brothers began interviewing Hollywood agencies that had stronger connections in the entertainment industry.
We're just two guys that live in Ohio, Aaron Eanes joked.
Mr. Kelce had pushed his management team to get him on Saturday Night Live. The goal was achieved in early 2023, shortly after the Chiefs won the Super Bowl.
Mr. Lovett and Tom Young, CAA's co-head of sports media, both said that Mr. Kelce had an easygoing charisma and a coachable nature that made producers want to work with him.
Decision makers and those folks that are meant to be visionary about who's the next potential movie star, those folks had already tapped into Travis even coming out of Saturday Night Live, Mr. Lovett said, and probably before.
But nothing was being rushed, Aaron Eanes said. That's not Mr. Kelce's style. And Mr. Eanes had already been laying the groundwork for his client's path to the A-list. Throughout 2022, Mr. Eanes had targeted endorsement deals with companies that were not traditional NFL partners, like promoting vaccines for Pfizer, for instance, or a new debit card from Experian.
Danielle Salzito, a veteran brand strategist who joined Mr. Kelce's management team after 14 years at Viacom, said she has adopted marketing lessons from working with music artists like Harry Connick Jr., who was constantly willing to reinvent himself to reach new audiences.
Mr. Kelce's inner circle insists that his time as a viral celebrity hasn't changed him. His personal chef, Kumar Ferguson, has been pals with Mr. Kelce since they played recreational basketball together in the 4th grade. He drives home-cooked meals, typically wild rice, chicken, and veggies, to the Chiefs' practice facility every day so that he and Mr. Kelce can have lunch together.
While 2023 was a nearly perfect year for Mr. Kelce, Aaron Eanes said the increased attention has his team considering a potential area of concern: oversaturation. Is there too much of Mr. Kelce on television and in the news, and could fans grow numb to the sight of him? The plan for next year revolves around one word: curation. Fewer deals, quality over quantity, authenticity first.
The game was decided in the final moments by a penalty that reversed what would likely have become a signature play in Mr. Kelce's career.
Trailing by 3, Mr. Kelce caught a pass in the open field. Then, as he was about to be tackled, he showed off the arm he had used as a high school quarterback, throwing a perfect pass back to an open teammate who raced in for what appeared to be a game-winning score. The only problem was that the teammate had lined up incorrectly before the play, which erased the touchdown.
The Chiefs went on to lose the game, but once again, Mr. Kelce had found a way to be in the middle of everything.
We positioned Travis to be world famous, Eanes said. We didn't know how it would happen, or when it would happen, or what would help push that further along, but it's always been the thought in the back of our minds.